I forgot about that too.
Oh, you so bad at the news.
I really forgot. Yeah, one of the biggest news stories, and this is
his favorite. He wanted to do a whole chat room on this.
This is shame on. We're going to. This is a show, especially when it releases. Shame on me. Snyder Cut finally has gotten its justice. So the Justice League Snyder Cut is coming to HBO Max exclusively in 2021. So it's still a little bit away, which is depressing.
Well, they got to put this. They have to finish the
do
CGI
all the
effects.
work.
Yes, which is going to cost $20 to $30 million, apparently.
That seems like a pretty good investment, though. Like, I don't know what they paid.
Oh, this is going to make a whole lot of money.
It's going to get a lot of subscribers, right?
Oh yeah, I'm signing up for the free subscription for a week. Gonna watch the shit out of it, and then buy it on 4K once it comes out.
Are you not going to watch the Friends revival?
No, who cares about Friends?
Are you going to watch?
Friends was overrated.
What if they have other really good shows? Would you watch them?
Sure. Yeah, I haven't heard anything from HBO Max other than the Snyder Cut that has kept me interested.
What the hell is the difference, by the way, between getting HBO and HBO Max? Like, you already have HBO.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Like,
why
you can
would
have
you get
HBO and HBO Go, but they're like, you know what? Pay some more for HBO Max.
I don't get it. Why would you do that? Like, what's the difference? Or is this going to be cheaper?
Because they're going to throw a whole bunch of extra stuff on HBO Max. Chelsea Handler just announced her special that'll be on HBO Max. Some other things are popping up at HBO Max. Apparently, it's going to be like with the other subscription services where you can only get certain stuff if you get the Max package as opposed to something else.
I do love Max packages.
Although the other thing that's going to be kind of depressing is Zak Snyder's Snyder Cut was intended to be a 2 to 3 part saga. So it's still going to end in a way where you're going to be pissed because you're going to see a movie that was so much better that would have done financially much better if it was released as intended.
In
and
theory,
you're going to be like, oh, we're never getting the sequels to this.
Well,
so
it is interesting because everyone has chimed in from Henry Cavill to Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is posting multiple times, release the Snyder Cut. He's stoked about it, obviously.
Jason Momoa is all about that Snyder Cut.
He's all about the Snyder Cut.
Henry Cavill, ladies and gents, it finally happened. The Snyder Cut will be next year. Now, I know there have been two camps over the whole Snyder Cut thing and whether it'll happen in a while. Just remember, we all get to have more Justice League now, which is a win-win, so be nice to each other. Big congratulations to you, Mr. Snyder. Even in real life, he's Superman. He talks the same exact way as actual Superman.
He's just like Superman.
Oh, Henry Cavill is just a man amongst boys.
Oh, I forgot. Were we gonna call out? Weren't we supposed to argue about something on this one?
Momoa, we can do that, but real fast, we do have Momoa went ahead he came out loud and proud and screaming on I guess Instagram.
We're just sitting around doing nothing. Fucking release the Snyder Cut, am I right?
Exactly. Release the Snyder Cut.
Release the fucking Snyder Cut.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we waiting for? There's some goodies in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there, so hopefully, generally the shit I put out there comes true. Let's hope it does. Release the fucking Snyder Cut, baby!
I love Jason Momoa. He's the man. Like, if I were gay, I would swallow him.
Wow.
You'd do it now anyway.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Who wouldn't, though, honestly? Like, that man is gorgeous.
I think I'm pretty. I don't know. Part of me's really excited, and part of me's like, "What if this thing sucks?"
It's not. There is literally zero chance, that it is worse than Whedon's movie.
Whedon's aborted fetus of a movie. Yes, that thing.
Hopefully, this solidifies how fucking shitty Joss Whedon is.
I'm glad that you did finalize your statement with that there's no way it's gonna be worse than Whedon's version. It could still be a piece of shit. We don't know that. We won't know that till next year when it's released. This is a weird instance that we actually have this happening, this weird congruence of events that brought us to this point that there's actually the ability to bring in the Snyder Cut.
Bootleg chimed in, and he says that HBO is giving us the Irishman of DCEU.
No, fuck the Irishman. That's boring and old white
That's
people.
what I'm curious, Bootleg. Do you think that is this a bad move or a good move? Because I'm leaning towards good move. In fact, we have an issue with someone, and I don't know if we're actually gonna call them out. That was a Scott decision.
I say go ahead and call them out. I'm trying to pull the article up now.
Okay, well, it looks like someone wrote an article on a website that we disagree with sometimes. And this guy, I don't know his name, but we'll call him out from Collider. Ends
Drew
up,
Taylor.
he says that
His
releasing the Snyder Cut.
His name is Drew Taylor from Collider.
Drew Taylor from Collider, who's basically calling fans toxic. So what he did was he said that this release of the Snyder Cut is a dangerous precedent that's being set because God forbid the fans get what they want, which is to see a movie created by its original creator, not just... So this gives rise to people clamoring over the Suicide Squad original cut.
The air cut.
The air cut. So if a director has a cut that they would like the fans to see, and the fans are willing to pay for it, why is that dangerous? I don't understand. And if it gets HBO more subscribers, why is that a bad thing? Why does that make fans toxic? He claims in his article that the fans were bullying people and that we're some kind, the fan base is some kind of scumbags because they're bullying people for the Snyder Cut, because they paid for billboards and they wrote letters to people because they wanted to see a piece of art completed by its original director with the original intent that it was done. Am I missing something here, Scott?
They bullied, though, and he's saying the studio bullied those who suggested that maybe the Snyder version, which required tens of millions of dollars to finish, might actually be the worst version.
Again, that's for the fans to decide, is it not?
He says they bullied those who thought that theatrically released version was good.
Well, it's a piece of crap. So
I mean, it was okay.
And
it was
the
good
fans,
considering the circumstances.
I think it was mediocre at best
and the fans,
actually poor at best.
And the
at
fans
worst.
mostly bullied Warner Brothers, who went in a completely different direction from what Snyder was planning.
How do you bully a multi-million-dollar, if not billion-dollar company? Can you please tell me how that happens? So only critics get to comment on things, and the fans should just shut their mouths and just pay their money and not have anything to say about it. The fans voted with their money. Justice League was not a big hit. And then you have people coming back being like, we want to see the original cut of this. We'll pay money to see it. That's called capitalism. Anything else is socialism.
Well, he's saying
down
that,
with socialism.
He's saying that the studio release coming to the demands, release a Snyder Cut is mystifying and potentially dangerous. He says the message is clear. If you bitch and moan enough, chances are that the studio might not only agree with you. The method has been approved, blah, 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 blah. So he's saying that this is starting a precedence now that anyone who disagrees with the end of a movie is going to be able to bitch and moan and get a new end of the movie.
What they're not realizing is if enough bitching and moaning means there's enough money for people to want to buy it.
And if the director comes out and says, I have a better cut of this, which Snyder has been saying since the start of the entire thing, and people want to see it, and the only reason why the guy stepped aside was due to, this is an exceptional circumstance. He stepped aside from the movie because there was a death in the family. They hired Joss Whedon, who wrote 80 pages of script to finish the movie. I just think it's absurd. We have Bootleg chime back in because I asked him a question, and thank you for responding to me, Bootleg. He says it's good because, A, they'll get more subscriber money, which we're all saying. We all agree with that. And B, anything will be better than what we got, which I 100% agree with because what we got was crapola. And the one thing I always keep saying when I talk about this, I remember seeing the original trailer with that White Stripes song, Icky Thump, which was badass. And then we got to see like a 5-minute cutscene where Ben Affleck recruits Aquaman. And that scene was freaking badass. It was a really great scene, and he had a great joke about, like, I heard you talk to fish. When I watched it in the movie theater, I literally turned to the person next to me and said, what did they do to that scene? They absolutely chopped it up, and they added a bunch of idiots in the background talking about MacGuffins. So Joss Whedon's got his dirty little fingers on this movie and ruined it, and I just find it to be irritating that, like Noob Noob said, if the fans are willing to pay money for a cut that the director themselves said they have a cut, it's like paying for the director's cut of the movie when you buy a DVD. If you want the director's cut, we should be able to pay for it. And if we want to pay for it, you critic, whatever your name is, you jackass from Collider, we should be able to do whatever we want. If we want to pay for it, we're going to fucking pay for it.
This is a super unique example. This never happens anywhere else that you have two completely different versions of a movie. Some studios will do different endings, and they come out with the Blu-ray specials. You see them. This is the one instance that a studio screwed up, that they brought in somebody else because someone else had a family emergency. This is such a unique situation that this will never happen again. So,
Well, I don't agree with that, because look at George Lucas and how many times he's edited his damn movies. And every time the dude makes billions of dollars, well, until he sold it to Disney, re-releasing edited versions of his movie. If the guy who had the vision for the thing wants to release a new version, they should, and the fans want to pay for it, let the marketplace decide. If this bombs, maybe they don't give an A cut. But if it does really well, maybe they pay for Suicide Squad. Apparently, there's a whole shitload of footage of Jared Leto acting his little titties off, and it might be more interesting.
The Jared Leto cut.
Yeah, setting up a whole storyline between the Joker and Batman and Suicide Squad. I'd like to see that. I mean, that'd be interesting to see. But for this guy, for Drew Taylor from Collider to say this is a dangerous precedent is ridiculous.
Yes, it's absurd, and it's, the whole thing is run by the fans. And if the fans don't like it, guess what? It gets canceled. And if the fans won't spend their money, guess what? It gets canceled. So if this doesn't make money, you ain't going to see anything else. But again, that's for the fans to judge with their wallets. So give us our power. Like, we have all the power. Just because you're a critic doesn't make you better than anybody else. If we want to see it, we'll pay for it, and so on. Like, get the hell out of here, you maniac. I don't know if that was just a clickbait article or the guy's genuinely like some wacko.
Fears